noticing patterns. That's where they draw the line for insanity and insane. So, yeah. Good times.
What?
What the fuck
Thank
is
you for
that?
note.
That's just a purse. What? It's a man satchel.
No, that's actually a purse.
No, it's a man satchel.
Did you knit it yourself?
Of course not. Anyway, so in this man satchel, I have the funniest jokes.
That's actually a purse.
It's a man satchel. Let's not be
Okay.
Let's not be gay about it.
The funniest what?
The funniest jokes you have fucking ever heard.
I bet you.
Okay.
Let me just say this right now.
I didn't write them.
Let me
so,
say this right
hold
now.
on.
I bet you 100%, dude, that 2 of these jokes, I know 2 of these jokes that we're going to say tonight.
Yeah, 'cause you
I
guys
know 2 of
fucking
them.
wrote these jokes.
No, I didn't write
any
them.
of these jokes
That's right.
because
I
I
didn't
didn't
write
get the
them.
input for these jokes.
Okay.
So you're trying to make me
So
the
first
joke?
off,
That's- wow,
I just thought periodically,
skills.
I could just say, Casey, boom, you read a joke,
Okay.
right? Casey, check this joke
Oh,
out. Just
sorry.
reach in and grab any
Okay,
joke
I
out.
was gonna do it, and I thought
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
just
No, you're
using me
right.
as an example. So
Yeah,
all right, okay.
just any joke you want. Just pull
Trying
a
to
joke
pull out
out.
one. All
That's
right.
a great one. That's a great joke. Go ahead, read it.
Hey, why are the black people so tall?
I just fucking knew the one. I said there was 2.
Why are black people so tall?
Why
Because
are-
they're Negroes.
Oh,
Yeah, that's gonna get me.
He
jumped.
said that joke 48 times.
you're gonna get beat
Thanks
up
for
for that
making
racist.
me the racist. That's great. That's pure improv hate crime. You ever see a improv hate crime? There you go.
Your life ruined.
Yep.
Go ahead,
I
Bo.
won't make it
Pick a
home
joke. Read a joke. Pick a joke. Any joke. Read a joke.
All right, dude.
I wish I could have input on these.
Now, don't pre-read it. Just read
I'm
it.
not reading
Just
it.
read it.
All right, I'll
Just read it. Go. Go.
All right, dude. My friends say I don't understand irony. What is funny? Which is funny because we were eating at IHOP, stupid.
I wrote that one.
I don't understand.
That might have been the funniest joke I've ever
I
heard,
don't-
dude.
Read it again. Go ahead, read it. Don't analyze it. Just read that one more time.
All right. My friend said I don't understand irony, which is funny because we were eating at IHOP, stupid. I don't get it, dude. I don't. I don't get it.
Okay.
Loaded. Woo! That was good.
Oh my god, I should put tears
That
in
almost
my
gave me a
eyes.
headache from laughing.
Yeah. Let's do one more.
Shit.
One more round.
I know. Hey, it's your turn.
But I already know these, so it's like,
Oh.
Yeah. It's funny when you
so
do
I guess
it.
I'll go.
yeah.
He's
I'll
gonna,
do the
like,
next one.
So
maybe.
he's just setting me and you up.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty much what-
Well, I already
this
know
is.
him, so it's
Okay.
like I
Oh,
can't have
cool.
that moment of like
All right.
authenticity.
I guess I'm reading this one.
Ooh.
My wife just found out I replaced the bed with a trampoline. She hit the roof. She loved it. I loved it more.
Oh my god. This shit has got me in tears.
She loved it.
It actually didn't say that part.
She hit the roof.
She hit the roof.
That's so good. Whew.
I used to know how to throw a boomerang. Wait, it's coming back to me.
That shit's so corny.
That one's bad, dude. That one's not that good.
That's why it's funny though. It's like it's almost like
Try another
I
one.
don't know, like that one. That's
That one's a
corny.
dud. That was like a dud firecracker.
All right.
Didn't fire right.
The school switched all their blackboards to whiteboards because they work better.
Woo.
Why is that funny?
I don't know. That was racist.
Why would it be racist? We're talking about chalkboards.
It's made out of different
Versus a
material that
burger.
works better.
Yeah. It's a better product. That's what I'm
All
talking about. Is the industry's
Go ahead,
growing.
Case.
It's funny. You felt that?
He's racist, dude. It was one
I
of
think
those
it's 'cause
subjective
because
jokes.
you said blackboard.
Yeah, he's like, blackboards don't work as good as whiteboards.
Yeah.
What, dude?
Wow.
Really?
I think that's the statement.
Yeah.
Made. My dad died when we couldn't remember his blood type. As he died, he kept insisting for us to be positive. but it's hard without him. We still didn't figure out his blood type. Never did. He's dead, so we won't never know.
He said, they're like,
Be
hey,
positive.
What is it? Like, be positive. It's hard without him. He just would have gave me that blood type.
I know. I probably should have emphasized more on the.
That was done. Let's do one more round. My glasses are filling up with tears.
Oh, okay.
Holy
you got a whole
shit.
shitload in here.
Yeah. Takes a punch.
I'm not saying her perfume was strong, but go butt fuck yourself with a brick of meatloaf.
What does that say?
That's what it says.
He says what? I'm not saying her perfume was strong, but go butt fuck yourself with a brick of meatloaf.
I told you that's what it said, dude. I wasn't just making it up.
What does that even mean, dude? What do these even mean?
I
think sometimes they don't have to mean anything. He just wants to hear us say it.
I just wanted to
Let's
hear
read it
you
out
say,
loud.
go butt fuck yourself with a freaking meatloaf. That was for me.
That's recorded, too, so that's going to be on the dark web.
Oh, all right. One more round, and we fucking move on. Sorry. One more fucking round, guys.
Okay, I'll do one more.
One more round.
All right, this is for the gold, okay?
This is good.
Did you hear about the hungry clock? It went back 4 seconds.
Did he just spit up all this coffee?
Make sure I read this shit. Did you hear about the hungry clock? It went back 4 seconds. Must have been really hungry.
God damn it.
Did you like pull this shit up like online? Like
Did it come throughout your
the
nose?
most corniest
Oh, it
fucking
came out my fucking
kid jokes
ears
or
and
something?
everything. That was so funny.
Your turn.
That clock was
Hopefully
hungry.
it's better than clocks.
Went back 4 seconds.
The clock was hungry.
God damn, man.
That was good.
People used to laugh at me when I would say, I want to be a comedian. Well, nobody's laughing.
Now.
Oh, my thumb was covering it.
Yeah. Read it again. Read it again fast. Like that.
Well, okay. People used to laugh at me when I would say, I want to be a comedian. Well, nobody's laughing now.
Well.
That might have something to do with it.
Well. God damn. Why are hacky jokes so funny?
I got tears on my
That's like a good way to exercise your like happy muscles. You know, like my cheeks hurt.
I'll tell you what, man.
So like, man, I
Those
have
are the
not
funniest
laughed like
fucking
that.
jokes I can muster up.
That was some really corny ass jokes.
All right.
All right.
Let's get into some good stuff
Yeah,
tonight, all
I was
right?
gonna say we're gonna
You feeling the fucking Chibo
probably
or
lose
what?
people at this rate. They're gonna be like, wow, these guys are telling
Fuck
fucking
that. That's
dick
some of
jokes.
the, they're telling their fucking friends and family those jokes right now.
It's true.
You're like, hey,
Don't worry, there's
hey,
dick
honey,
jokes on the way.
Why did the clock?
Let's
What,
get
what,
Bill.
the,
That's Bill.
what was the one with the clock? Hey, honey, the
4
clock was
seconds
so
behind.
hungry, went back for seconds. And he's like, you dumb bitch. I am divorcing you.
He's like, wow, go get me a fucking beer
What
already,
are you
yeah?
doing over there, Billy Bob?
And then go back for fucking seconds too.
All right. Listen, God, I'm going to try to get into some things. Oh, here's one thing I want to talk to you guys about. Ecosexuals. Have you heard about this? Have you know about this? You know about this? You heard about this?
Ecosexual?
Ecosexuals.
Those.
Like an ecosystem?
Go on.
What?
What were you going to say?
Those like acting like animals and shit.
No. Those
say
are
those are furries, right?
animal sexuals.
Or bestiality? or
Ecosexuals
furries
are
or some
people
shit.
that want to marry and have sex with Earth. Yeah, it's a real thing. I was looking this up.
How many people total, you think?
I don't know how many people do it. Enough.
Hold on.
A lot of hippies.
I'm confused on how you go about this.
So
What do you-
the
what do you
picture
mean?
I saw.
Like they're having sex with
Don't be looking at
branches
my
or something?
boobs. The picture I saw.
Don't flatter yourself.
Okay. So.
How do you make love?
So hold on. So it was these two girls. Or maybe it was a guy and a girl, and they put patches of grass where their mouth was, like a mask with like grass right here. Like. And they rubbed each other's grass mouths on each other and shit. Yeah.
So they pretend they have beards, but with
But with grass. Like they're using earth to be like sexual through earth. to have sex.
I'm still.
I'm sure it
confused.
gets
I mean,
more
everything's
fucked
made
up.
out
I'm
of
sure it
earth,
gets
so it's
more
like, what are we
fucked
talking about?
Dudes sticking fucking branches up their asses and shit.
And this is like a real thing. This has become like a movement of sexuality.
This is a real thing. Yeah. No, ecosexuals. Yeah. It started off with like,
Ecosexuals.
you know how like you had
Like, how big is this group? Is there like a representative for this group
It's
yet?
about as big as the. Excuse me. I got coffee coming out my nose. It's about as big as the Westboro Baptist Church. It's about 32 members or something.
I just
I've
fucking
never
asked
heard
him
of
how
that
many
stuff,
people, and
probably.
he didn't know.
I
Now
don't
all of a
know.
sudden,
I
knows
don't know. I
32.
really don't know.
Well, it's a good analogy.
I made a
you know what I mean?
joke. That's why.
He went from
This is a
he
good
went from
one.
I have no idea to exactly 32 members.
Either way, if there was two people who came together on this
Fucking touch
subject,
that shit, dude.
it's alarming.
This is fucking kid right here, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
know what
either.
to think about that.
Listen.
I think it's
Anyway, the
hilarious.
idea is these people have sex with Earth. All right. This is where we are now, 2019. Earth sexuals. Yeah.
See, I'm for true freedom. I think if that's what makes you happy, fucking nay.
They have their own town?
Branches.
They have
Are
their
they
own-
really happy?
Have sex with
They have their own town?
fucking sand.
Do they have their own town, or they
But
live
don't
amongst
tell other
us?
They
people
live
about
amongst
it.
us.
Do it in the privacy of your home.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
I
want
might
to
know a few.
No.
Oh my
If there's only
God.
32
have you
members?
tried this shit, dude? Is that what you're really about to come out and say?
One time when I was a
Yeah,
kid, I humped a tree.
Was
But it
it-
didn't have any effect on me.
You didn't do anything?
Nah. Let that
Did you do it
shit-
right
I hit a
though?
backflip
Was
over
like,
that
did you
shit.
find a hole, or were you just humping like a tree?
No, I just rubbed it against it with my little like jeans. Like I was like
That's what
6
something
or
like-
7.
I would imagine women would do that.
Remember you were a
They
little
like
7-year-old,
the
you
rub
hump
effect. We put
your pillow and
it
stuff.
in stuff. Why wouldn't you just find a hole in the tree and try that?
I don't know, dude.
I mean, if
Listen,
you're gonna try it,
I would
you're
never.
gonna try it.
I would never
Don't
be a
fucking
fucking
half-ass it.
ecosexual. First off, but there you are.
I don't know if I am an ecosexual or something because I've had sex in the wilderness a lot. So
That's true.
you know
Casey,
what I mean? Like, and I love the wilderness.
that's great.
I don't know if I just didn't know I could have sex.
That's
with
true.
The wilderness.
Hey,
you
you
know
remember
what I
that Casey? You know, I was just thinking of. You remember that time when you were like 6 and you thought you were Pee Wee Herman for a summer?
mean? Yeah, yeah.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
For a whole summer.
Yeah.
I remember very vividly my mom correcting him and going, "Your name's Casey," and he's like, "I'm Pee Wee Herman." And he kept saying it, and she's like,
I
"Stop,
couldn't stop.
fucking saying it. You're
It just
not."
became like this compulsive behavior that
Yeah, it was weird.
overwhelmed me. It was probably my first character I ever.
First sign of schizophrenia, I think, actually.
Or being a profound actor. You know, I mean, either or.
He had tears in his
Tears.
eyes because she's like, "If you don't stop saying Pee Wee Herman, you gotta go." Yeah.
Yeah.
That was-
It's- oh, shit. Whoa, hold
He'll
on.
do this thing.
Don't bring me back.
Yeah.
I'm starting to have like this fucking deja vu. Like,
He was Pee Wee Herman for a whole
Matrix.
fucking summer, dude. I had to call him Pee Wee Herman and shit. I'd be like, "Casey, can you give me that toy?"
I
He wouldn't
wouldn't
listen.
answer.
Hey, Pee Wee.
here you go.
Yeah.
I can't remember how his voice sounds nowadays. But
What's up with that?
I don't know. My first character.
All right, let's get into some really good stuff now. We've dicked
good.
around.
That was
We've
good.
you know we fucking caught a few. Read one more thing. Read one.
One more?
One more.
Let's go.
One more. Then we get into
This is
something
gonna
serious,
be it.
and then I want to
Okay,
talk about
this
money.
is gonna be the one though.
Then I want to talk about the future of religion.
Okay. The bike couldn't stand on its own. It was too tired.
That's that second one I knew was in there. I knew it was in there, dude.
The bike couldn't
That's a
stand
kid
on
joke
its
you can
own.
take home.
It was too tired. 3 tired. It could have stayed on its own. Stood on its own. By the way.
I'll take one of these.
Yeah. Reach in there. Get you a good one.
I like chocolate. You just
There
wanna
once-
go back for
Yeah,
more.
they're
you
nice
know?
with chocolate. That's right.
There once was this girl band, and the names of each member was Anna 1, Anna 2, Anna 1, 2, 3.
Huh. I'm kind of confused by that one. Like, I don't know if I'm misinterpreting it and just perverted or something.
You know, they're like, when you count off for a song, you go, Anna 1, 2, 3. There was this girl band.
Yeah.
And their names are
Because
Anna
they're-
1, Anna 2,
'cause they're so
Anna
smart.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3. All right, fuck you, man. Read another one.
Yeah.
That was
that
fun.
one was a dud.
Yeah.
That one was definitely
Was it?
a
I
dud.
thought it was.
I
liked
just
it.
didn't feel that one.
All right.
The magician was walking down the street, then he turned into a store.
That's a good one. You had to have stole that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
I
Though.
say
I tell people
that's
that all the
good.
time.
That's good.
I tell people that
I'm
like, on
actually
the
gonna use
bus.
that one tonight. Keep this one.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Jesus, my kid will like that one.
There's
Yeah.
2 more in here.
Are you gonna do 2
Oh,
more?
this is a new one.
Fuck it. Okay.
How do astronomers organize a party? They plan it.
They planned
That was
it.
a good one too.
It's spelled planet. Get it? Like the planet?
Yeah.
The astronomer's joke.
It's more funny.
Little funny
if you're
astronomer
reading it, I
joke.
guess. Yeah,
It's an astronomer joke.
I love it.
R.I.P. Boiling Water. You will be missed.
You will be missed with a T. You gotta say with a T. M-I-S-T.
Oh yeah, see, I didn't catch that. You know,
Boiling water becomes mist.
Yeah. Well, I knew it was
You
on
will
the
be
way.
missed. It's a play on words. It's,
Evaporation as well. You know,
Yeah.
it's in-
we got one more?
Holy shit. There's like 10 more.
10 more. Both said there was one more.
No.
There's no more.
Okay.
Is this one you just read?
No.
Just think. The homeless guy at the corner store doesn't even know what it's like to have a warm meal on Thanksgiving Day. I probably shouldn't be reading this last one. But that's all going to change this year. I'm going down there and telling him. I'm going to tell him all about it. It was warm. It was delicious. My family was there. I had all my family together. You know what that's like?
This year,
Do you remember that?
I'm gonna tell them all about it. It was great. We had cherry pie, then we brought out the fucking chicken and the turkey. And
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of had to carry it for you.
We had such a good time.
They didn't really.
You're
understand
homeless. You don't know.
the playoff. Yeah.
Anyway, that's the joke. So, well, we got a few minutes here, Case. What do you want to do? You want to talk about the future of religion when we come back? And then maybe get into like
I might blow
some
some
psychedelic
minds.
talk,
I
some
don't
yoga
know.
talk.
Can your audience handle such a topic?
Are you ready to talk about yoga and psychedelics?
Fucking A.
You look like a guy that's probably taken a shroom or two.
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Let me ask you a question.
You know what I mean?
What do you think about creationists?
What do I think about creationists?
Yeah.
What is
think I-
creationist?
Yeah, explain to him what creationists are first.
First off, they're almost all Catholic. It's the belief that Almighty or Omega Source God created life.
No, not just that,
That
but
you were poofed into existence.
what's it? The poof theory.
It's the poof theory.
Yeah, it's the poof theory. And well, creation
As
means
God
like you
spoke
believe,
into the fabric of space, let
Adam
there
and
be
Eve?
light and
like
love.
you don't believe in evolution. You believe that the world's like creationists generally believe the world's like 12,000 years old, or sometimes an argument,
Limited,
maybe
dinosaurs are
100,000,
not real.
or not millions. Well, it's different. Some are billions rather. Some of them believe they were dinosaurs, but they think that we were like it was closer in the period. Like, so say humans came around 26,000 years ago. Dinosaurs was like 28,000, or you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
modified
They don't
this
think
now?
it's like billions.
Because
years
remember the
old.
theory was
Yeah.
for a while that there was archaeologists, a new form of scientists who were trying to eradicate religion, who were burying stones, fossils,
Yeah,
and
fucking with
claiming
us,
that they were
testing
these
our faith.
giant reptiles. Exactly.
Yeah.
There to test our faith.
That's what Christians back in the 80s.
That's a true story.
Yeah, some Christians believe that, like
That's fucking crazy, man.
Wow, dude.
dinosaur bones are here to test our faith. Like God's like running around burying dinosaur bones to fuck with us. Like,
And it makes you wonder, like, who was the Catholic person that thought that first and said, "I'm running with this shit. I know a lot of people gonna back me."
So much,
You know,
so
you're
much
like,
corruption.
Think about it, guys. We all know God didn't put no fucking dinosaurs here. What the fuck is a dinosaur? Think about it. You know, you're like, yeah,
That's a good character
Good
right
point,
there.
man.
that was a good
I can
character.
see her
use.
in my head.
Yeah.
You know, like up at the fucking post office stadium. What do they call those things?
Podium.
Podium. I was mixing both up. Podium.
You were like approaching Congress or something, or were you-
No,
Are you
her whole town, her
Her
hometown. She's at like Congress fucking laying down. May I want to know?
Oh my good gracious.
Hey,
My
I
good
gotta make a
gracious.
woman voice. I'm fucking dressed as a woman, so.
Blanche, you're so funny.
I have no idea.
You guys are fucking.
Okay, let's slide into. First off, I got called a militant atheist by a good friend.
Militant.
Which, by the way,
atheist.
wasn't
what
the
exactly
first time.
does that mean? Because I know what
It means you're an atheist,
is,
but you're like the most committed. Like you're a fundamentalist atheist. Like you're like the Nazi fucking atheist. You know.
Okay, but is this like the atheist belief system that's not a religion, but happens to be
Look, all
organized
atheism
like a
is
religion?
religion. We know
exactly.
that. We know.
So I mean,
There's like 1% fringe.
it just means like an extremist of an
He
atheist.
basically said like I
So
belong
he-
to the religion of
he has
atheism.
proof that there's no proof. pretty much. That's his
Well,
extremity.
well, the fun part is I'm not
'Cause that's
a
a really
I'm not
big
a
thing, is there's no
atheist,
proof.
and I would never be militant anyway. If I was an atheist,
Well,
you
how
could
did
be
they even
militant.
come up with this assumption?
He said I'm always like talking shit about religion and Christianity and stuff. I said, well, look, man, I live in the Western world. I live in the United States. Like, if I lived in Iraq or something like that, maybe I'd be talking shit about Islam, you know, or if I was living in, you know.
You're going to be talking about
It's
what's
just about,
culturally
I'm just commentating on what
relevant. Yeah.
I'm commentating what I see around me, what my experiences are. I'm living in a mostly Christian country, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, but either way, you know, I said, look, I've criticized bad ideas. I think, you know, I think it was a bad idea in a certain sense with the Buddha when he left his family. I thought that was kind of selfish,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Walked out on
very
his
much.
family and his kids, went to go find himself.
Yeah,
like
very
today,
much.
we'd call that like a deadbeat dad or something, you know.
Yeah.
So there were certain things when you look back on people, you go like, "Huh, that was kind of a weird one," you know. Or like Lincoln, we talked about Lincoln the other week. I said he's was kind of a white supremacist. He believed the white race was a superior race and that blacks shouldn't hold office and all that. And they said, well, look, man, you know, later in his life he started to walk back. Well, it wasn't really later because he died young. It was like a few years later he made some other comments, you know. But either way, it's like, look, you know, people can be both of those things, you know. Sure.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, anyway, I think that's where the
I
nerve
love how
got
like
struck.
you're like talking about something real serious with the wig and everything. It's just,
Yeah, listen.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, that is part of the joke there.
Well, I think it's crazy how people go extreme either way. You know, like I don't know.
First off, I'm not a militant atheist.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying is to make an assumption. You know, and to label someone by that assumption. You know, when you don't know anyone and you're only depicting from seeing something that's very limited. You know, what I mean? Like
Yeah.
How many? I mean, this is a podcast 131. That's a lot of videos and shit.
Yeah.
But how many videos were you actually talking about Christianity?
Well, we talked about,
You know what I mean?
but
Like,
well, the thing was too, and,
so to
and some
target
of my
that specifically, is this guy a Christian? And that's
yeah,
why?
they're Christians. They get
Well,
upset.
And that's why. You know, 'cause you
But-
can't say anything.
Yeah, you're gonna offend everybody. You know, I do attack Christianity because it has some bad ideas. You know, they condemn gay people. They condone slavery and beating women, and you know they were trying to take over the world in the Crusades. And there's a lot of shit that was not that good, not that long ago. I mean, you look in the history of what the Catholic Church did alone to torturing and murdering people. It's unbelievable shit.
Dude, the problem is because people are not the religion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. Like, there's more agnostic theorists. They follow what's more convenient. They follow it because, hey, you know, it's a good way to live your life, to have morals, and to treat each other with value and shit. But they're not, you know, they're not really like, I am a Christian. But when they hear that term, they have to, like, take defense to that because that's what that religion advocates to them.
Right.
Is if you are a Christian, you're a Christian. You know, and you have to be a Christian if you're going to be saved and go to heaven. And everyone wants to go to heaven. Who wants to fucking die and go to hell?
you
know,
gotta be
like,
part of the- yeah.
You're like, what's the deal? You're like, you're going to heaven or you're going to hell? You're like, oh, well, of course I want to go to heaven.
Yeah, they
Like,
call that
okay, well, you
Pascal's-
got to sign up and you got to quote Jesus and say you're a Christian.
They call that Pascal's wager in philosophy. There was this philosopher Pascal. He called it Pascal's wager. He's like, maybe there's a heaven, maybe there's not, but don't you want to err on the side of caution here? So let's just go with maybe there is, because I don't want to be wrong. Get fucking
Well, I think heaven and hell
Go to
is
hell
right
when I
here on
die.
Earth, you know, and I think that the analogy is pleasure or pain. You know, what I mean, like the suffering.
what is he talking about here?
I don't know.
What is this?
man.
Some Buddha yoga
I don't
enlightenment?
know.
Let's
Sounds
talk
like
about,
something bald head would say.
Well, actually, I want to just end on that. Not a militant atheist. Not even an atheist. Not even an agnostic.
yeah, I wouldn't have thought that. Never.
I'm
would've
fucking.
popped in my head on that one.
Yeah, that's why I told him. I said, dude, if you actually knew me, that just shows how much we don't know each other, apparently. Because I'm like, if you knew me, or if you would say that to people that really did know me, it's funny. You know?
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
just criticizing bad ideas, man. Like, that's it. Sorry.
Well,
As
it's
I
al-
see
it's
them, they're
always
bad
ironic
ideas.
that
And I'm also praising good ideas. I
Christians
say,
are the ones that are the first to say that they're not supposed to judge, but they're the most judgmental. I'm not going to say Christian people.
I think
I'm
actually
saying the
you pissed them
religion.
off, now that I think about it.
Well, this probably
Because
the religion
because he
itself
kept quoting
makes
something you said about,
makes you question people.
Now I remember, you said that only dumb people. Bo goes, will there always be religion? You go, as long as there's dumb people, Bo.
Well,
And so
they go
he
hand to
kept
hand.
saying, I said that. I said, that's
They
not.
go hand to hand.
I said, Casey said that. I didn't say that.
Yeah, no, I said.
But
that.
I was trying to explain, like, what you were saying was like, look, yeah, people dance with snakes.
Yeah, you know, there's always going to
There's
be an
dumb people.
extremity. That's all. That's
Yeah.
my point. You know, if I honestly don't mean to offend anyone, but I honestly don't care.
Yeah, that's my
I
problem
don't
too.
care. You know, I mean, like I just don't want to though. I'm not genuinely a person to intentionally try to harm anyone, no matter what. You know,
Right.
and you could try to lash out at me, and I got so much joy in my heart. You're just gonna amuse me. You're gonna be the entertainment for the day. You know,
Thank you for being
I'm not going to
my
be
friend.
offended. You are not that important. You're not that big of a deal. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, it's all your own identity, and if you got more of a burden
Don't tread
with
on me, motherfucker.
Why the fuck would I want to burden?
Don't tread on me,
Oh,
motherfucker.
exactly, baby.
What were you gonna say, Bo?
Don't rain on my parade.
Wow, that's good. That's pretty good.
Get me excited.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, like, I think the idea of religion is what we need.
The idea of religion?
Like, just the idea of, like, everybody being one, you know?
Like Baja.
Right?
Like,
Like,
that, yeah, like if
I
you-
think having faith towards the end of your life, having faith in something unknown, keeps you alive a little bit, maybe, or makes the process of you leaving this earth more bearable.
I was gonna say, I think
Yeah.
that is the most
You know what I
valid
mean?
point.
That is a
Because when we get past our own ego about trying to do right and wrong, and our own morality about what is right and wrong, and all the fundamental bullshit, the rules,
right,
what it comes down to is the biggest fear that any human being experiences is death.
right,
The idea of death. It's not death. Death's not scary at all.
yeah,
But the idea of death, because we're alive, we only know life, we have nothing to contrast that experience until it happens.
Yeah.
So the idea is very scary, and I agree. I think in the beginning, that's one of the biggest things that drove the religious movement, our religion movement, was the idea of where the fuck do we come from and where do we go?
yeah, and that's
Is
what
there something after this? And we want there to be something because we're so used to this journey, we don't want it to be over. We want it to be something new, the next level, you know.
That's what differs between in religions too, is that everybody's all of the different afterlives.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
There's
So
like-
it shows you that
you get to
each
choose
one
which afterlife.
has that being one of their biggest questions and biggest directions of where they got their answer.
Right.
Like if you look at a Sufist, if you said, you know, you define God, well, they can't define something that's infinite, first off, you know. And I can't quote a Sufi, so I'm not a Sufist, but I would relate more close to a Sufist. I would say, you know, in the end, it's all just love. This whole thing was just to be appreciation. You go, well, there's so much suffering in the world. It's like, yeah, there is, you know, and it's not for the individual suffering, obviously, in that moment, but later there will be a contrast in that individual's life to reward them by pleasure, you know, and because you have to have an exchange. Just like a real person, an older person, you know, not a young cat, would know that you don't really truly experience love until you've had heartbreak, until you've had, you know, you lost love or someone died or whatever the tragedy was, whatever it happened was. You have to have that contrast to show the extreme of what it was that you had, you know. And so I think religion acts like that, and it was people's interpretation, and then it was just like the most accepted interpretation, you know. And like I made a point to your writer earlier, or reporter, or whatever it was.
Journalist.
Your journalist.
Jim the journalist.
Yeah, Jim the journalist.
Shout out to Jim the journalist.
Yeah, good guy.
Good guy.
Good guy.
I was trying to make that point to him, though. You know, like I think it's a cultural reference to where we try to identify something and we try to interpret it. You know, and so we wrote it down, and then now we're at this point where we're so universally intelligent that we're trying to decode ancient analogies and metaphors and shit. You know, and then you have these people who are very, very uneducated, but are TV grown and you know, and radio grown and shit. Pop culture individuals who have no actual independent research intelligence, you know what I mean, who are quoting like just stupid shit to where it's fucking confusing everyone, where you're like, oh, what the
I'll
fuck?
fucking behead you if you do not stop hitting that table with that ring. Remember last time you were like boom boom ba boom boom. I'm like, Bo, what are you doing?
I didn't know that was an issue.
It's an issue in post edit when you listen back and you hear it going pap 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 pap.
Oh,
It's real loud. You all right?
Yeah, his wig hair keeps going to my eyes, stabbing my eyes.
Mine too.
mine's
I don't know how
fine.
women do it.
Is it? It looks closer to your natural.
I know, that's why I'm used to it.
Anything you want to talk about?
No, I want to get into some fucking lines though.
Lines? I don't know any lines. I didn't read them. Do you want to do them?
I told him a week ago. What lines
were you gonna do?
We were gonna do this Breaking Bad line,
Ooh,
and then I was gonna do a Bane line, Bane and Batman line.
Let's
Are
save
these
that
like your
for.
good
Let's save
voices?
that for the end.
The Bane and Batman.
Yeah, let's save some of this line stuff for the end, and we'll do. I kind of wanted to get into some psychedelic talk. I thought you were wanting that last time we were on. Like
yeah, I was.
you kept starting it.
I had a lot of ideas for it, you know, and I just been holding on to it. I've been trying to find the right time to come out, so I've been waiting for your show.
Well, come on out of the closet. What do you want to talk
Say,
about?
I've been dying to come out, guys.
Come on out, Billy.
Loader.
Oh, Blanche, don't be a whore. Come out of the closet.
I wanted to say, first off, I think it's, for the psychedelic experience, I think it's very obvious to those who've already had it, those others who've had it. You know what I mean? Like, you can witness, or you just automatically identify someone else is tripped. You know what I mean? Like, without them even saying,
right.
oh, I've taken
Right.
hallucinogenics. You can tell by this
absolutely.
behavior that they
Yes.
come back with, you know. And
Yes.
I'm not trying to knock anyone who hasn't taken
Something
it.
funny, Bo.
If someone's here who hasn't
Hold on,
taken
Casey. Hold on. Let me interrupt you.
I
real
just got a
second,
whole
because he's
full
interrupting
of
you.
Okay, sorry. It's okay.
Something funny, Bo.
full of shit answer over there.
Not a full of shit answer.
No,
not
no,
a
no,
full
no.
of shit answer.
It
I
was-
wasn't full of shit.
It was
answer,
just
though.
he exaggerated the fuck out of it.
No,
You saw
he's
that.
saying some real shit.
I know, but you exaggerated your answer.
Here's what happened to me multiple times.
He did. He's like, what? What? This is what he did. He's like, yeah.
Dude,
I
he's-
really.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Was that fake? Are
Pretty
you
good.
fucking faking me out over here?
No, I didn't.
I thought
Casey.
you were sincere.
Here's what I was
as
trying to say
shit.
before.
exaggerated.
Fucking Sideshow Bob here jumped in and tried to split us apart with his
He exaggerated.
fucking Judeo-Christian ethics. Now, here's what happened here. What were we saying?
The psychedelic experience. Uh-huh.
No, when you so I'd be at a restaurant and I swear to God, multiple times I had someone
Absolutely.
come up to me and say like, "Hey, sorry to interrupt you. Are you like a musician or something?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, yeah."
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, I'm new to the town. I play drums, man. Can I just give you my number? We can, you know." I've done that and had multiple jams like that. Swear to God, have met
And that was
multiple
prior
people like
to
that.
your fins, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
Yeah.
prior to those.
Yeah.
So yeah, they would come up and be like, "Sure, man, you know." And so like we could just identify. I've
Yeah.
always joked about that. Like artists can identify artists, musicians can
Yeah.
identify musicians.
Yeah.
People who
It's
have
the
tripped
same with
can fucking
strippers, man.
it's
Like,
something in their eye. One of my professors, right? He was brilliant, Freudian guy, and we had dinner one night. It was the last night of my residency, and it was just me and him. And it was late. He was like, "Oh, I shouldn't even be sitting here that long. We were drinking some wine, you know, indulging a
so you're
little
about
bit."
to turn into like a gay homo.
No. And I said to him,
You're
I
like
just
trying
said,
to
"This
make it past
guy
that
is
shit."
not like a fucking, you know, you just knew." And I go, "Hey, let me ask you a question." And I said it kind of slick, like, you know, it was, you ever have a trip? You ever take a little trip? Or, you know, I said something kind of like not
Just
completely
testing
calling
the
him
water,
out.
you know. You know.
And he kind of threw something back at me like, "Oh, yeah. And I said, "I fucking knew it." And I said, "It's like, you can know, right?" And he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like this unspoken thing. And I was like, that's fucking cool.
Because he
This
can't
guy-
say anything. He's like,
Oh, this guy was like well-respected doctor, you know,
Yeah.
for like 30 years and shit.
Yeah.
One of the last truly great Freudian psychoanalysts.
See, and it's sad that we come from a generation where that had to be suppressed, even though that these professional people
Look at
were
me now,
doing it,
Professor.
you know? Hey, at your grab.
He's like, that one failed. This is the problem with psychedelics. When they told you not to do drugs, they were fucking joking.
They might take you a little
It blows,
too far away,
it blows
man.
your cognitive self-identity schema just out of the water.
Yeah.
And no longer do you give a fuck.
The
Like,
hardest part
the
is
not
coming
giving
back
a fuck
and
is so
thinking
high.
about why you gave a fuck. You know, you're like, damn it, I got to convince myself to care again.
Many times when I would
Fuck.
come in out of a meditation or even a trip, I would write down, "Stop caring about all the little things so you can care about the bigger things." I mean, like, we're so like running around worrying about our bank account and my girlfriend and my new shoes and the you know, everything. And it's like, man, the second you can like rise above all that shit, then what you really give a fuck about is like, man, we need equality. You know, we need like, my friends matter. I need to reach out to my friends. You know, you start focusing my family. You focus on things that really fucking matter. Your art, your work.
You suddenly become less selfish and start genuinely all of a sudden.
Yeah, you break that
Looking outwards at other
narcissism.
people.
That
Yeah,
that
exactly.
limited. You're like
Yeah.
looking like this at everything, you know, and now you can finally just zoom back and look at everything
Yeah.
and say, holy shit.
And I imagine for like people who are in like a rut or a depression or maybe even anxiety or something that, you know, it's because they can't really break the lifestyle. That in
Right.
return does it for them, you know, into where it's
Sure.
like they finally get a window out of it long enough to where they can look back and be like, oh shit, you know, and I'm doing this, and in return, that's actually making me sad, you know. Like,
Sure. Yeah, you
fuck,
become
I need
hyper
to
aware.
stay away from that part, you know. I need to stop acting like
Yeah.
this because I'm doing this behavior.
So I digress. Negative Nancy. Negative Nancy. I was listening to him. I did not
I
give
know
him
he
an
was.
inflated answer.
It was inflated.
He caught me off guard, and I thought, oh, that's a good one. That's so true. But
That's
see,
a
if
good
you
point.
were
That
someone
was a
who,
damn
once
good
you
point.
take mushrooms, and if God lets you into the fucking pearly
You think
gates,
he will?
I don't know if he will.
That's
Casey.
the real
fucking
question.
worthy, dude.
That's
Casey,
the real
let's
fucking
talk about this
question.
right
I'm worthy.
now.
Because
Will
that
God
was,
let Bo in?
I was gonna say, because this was something that us as shroom shamans experienced, But yeah,
absolutely.
when we talked to a lot of other people, they didn't.
No,
they didn't
they
have that
went to,
experience. We felt like half the trip
Garden.
was going to get the mushroom. And this is why, is because nature either welcomes you and gives you some, or she doesn't. And we've gone out there with people with us.
Yeah.
And we've all come out with fucking bags full, and they've come out with none.
Yeah.
Because they were negative and they bitched the whole time. No offense, Kenny. I know you're probably watching this shit like, motherfuckers. Remember Kenny, dude?
He just found this.
Ironically, bro, his bag ripped when he was jumping one of the fences. The small hole like this big.
All
Lost
of them
every fucking mushroom in his bag.
Yeah.
That sucks.
You know what we did? We gave him all our shrooms. Because he bitched so much, we gave him all our shrooms. He's like, why are y'all going to give us all? We're like, dude, we don't have to have them.
Yeah,
she fucking gives us to him.
Yeah, man.
You know,
Here. You
she
need
wasn't
more.
unwelcoming to us. She said, "You ain't welcome, motherfucker. Get out of my field." You know, but it's for real.
Case,
there
remember
really
that
is like
time?
this part that you have to undergo, and it's like that experience of like
it's true.
transitioning. You know, and like being accepted to have this ritual. You know, in this.
Let me interject
religious
1 second.
experience.
That's so good what you're saying. But do you remember when we were out in our field one night, full moon, and suddenly over this hill, like I called it like the Braveheart stand, and it was like 57 cattle lined up.
Yeah.
They lined up
This has
shoulder to
happened
shoulder.
many times actually.
We're like,
the
what
wall.
fuck
They build
is-
the wall.
You know,
remember?
the moonlight's behind it, you know,
Call
and
it
we're
the
like,
wall.
what, yeah, it formed a wall.
Yep.
We're like, what the fuck is that up there? And it's like comes over the hill, dun, 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 dun,
You know,
dun,
slowly march us out of the fucking fields.
and they fucking
yeah.
just moved us out of there, like they
Yeah.
came toward us. And we were like, so as you were saying, will Bo be allowed in the pearly gates of psychedelic heaven?
That's very hard to answer.
Yes.
It all really depends on Bo's growth,
Yes.
his own personal evolution so far.
So hold on, let me elaborate here. Not everybody that takes mushrooms becomes enlightened. You know, like you were saying, like we have friends. We used to
very
actually go
true,
to other
very
parties,
true.
you know, houses, and they're like, hey, we're all taking shrooms. Oh wow, go over there. We're thinking they're gonna be meditating and shit like we were doing. No, they're not. They're drinking booze and like beating each other with golf clubs and shit.
Watching TV.
So, you need something? What you looking at, Billy?
Nothing.
You can see you keep looking at the camera.
Yeah, I'm just
like an
making
amateur. We don't look at cameras around here.
Just make sure he was in it.
He just wanted me to get close.
Is he in it?
Yeah, he's in it now.
Okay, see now we may have to make this a bit now
He just-
because
he just
you're
wanted me to be
looking
close.
at the fucking lens.
Oh, jeez.
Don't, Bo. Don't
I'm
fucking. I'm so
fucking
fucking
flattered.
tired of you
I'm
playing the
fucking flattered.
sympathy
He doesn't-
card.
He didn't see it. He didn't get it.
I know.
I'm so
I'm
tired of him
flattered.
playing the sympathy card. This is what he does because I'll be talking to you and say Bo's sitting here, he'll do this. And so you're like, finally
you
you
guys
stop. You
all
go,
do
"Is
that
everything
shit.
all right?"
Like you guys are all like fucking ADHD people where I'm like talking and you're like,
Not me, dude.
That's Bo.
No, it's fucking
Bo.
him.
That's Bo.
That's him, and you
That's
know.
no,
Bo.
that's Alex. We
That's
had
Bo.
we knew someone who really
Yeah,
did
that's
that
fucking
shit.
That's
Dave.
Alex.
You'd be like, hey man, check out this new chord. He'd be like, you're like, what the fuck, Alex? What the fuck are you looking at? I said, check out the chord.
Alex
God
watches this, by
damn.
the way.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah, Alex watches this.
Oh, that's
He does.
cute.
And somebody's gonna tell him.
Hey,
Garrett or
That's true,
Alan
though.
will tell him.
That's why it's fucking hilarious.
It is true.
It
They
makes
all
it
know.
funnier when
Everybody
it's true.
knows. Even
I'll say
Alex says,
Alex
"You know who I'm
knows.
being Alex."
Alex knows.
He has like
You
moments.
used to laugh at it.
Look,
If you
everybody
can't
knows
laugh
somebody.
at it anymore. That
But-
comes back to our point. If you can't laugh at your own pain, you might not.
You
be
might not
ready
have
for
pain.
for shrooms.
Now
or
listen,
you might not have pain.
you might not have pain. I question: Does
Ooh.
Bo have enough pain to enter the pearly gates of heaven
Because that's
via psychedelics?
Because do you have anything to contrast the experience you've already had?
That's right, Bo. Do you?
That's a good point.
I don't know. What does that even mean?
Means you have to have had experienced some kind of suffering.
Yeah.
You know, obviously you've experienced joy. You know,
Right.
you've experienced some kind of pleasure, right?
All right.
Just assuming, you know,
Right.
Right.
you'd have to have something to contrast both of those experiences, right?
Okay.
So if you're about to experience the unknown, then you have to have the experience of knowing, right? So how can you know something? And I don't mean just like mental, the illusion, your ego. I'm talking about, I am talking about the ego, the overall idea of knowing something. If you have nothing to contrast that, you're gonna take this mushroom and it's gonna take pretty much everything you think you know away. But if you have nothing still, no foundation, you're gonna be starting at like below like below elementary, you know. And I think that's why people have bad trips is they have no foundation because their belief
Bo
system
just got
is just
like so
ripped.
offended.
No. I'm not saying
He
that.
looked at
I'm
me
not
with
saying
these
that.
I didn't get
offended
it.
I say I'm
eyes.
not saying that.
He's
shit.
like, Casey
I'm
will
talking
never
about
be on
people
this
who I'm
podcast
talking
again.
about people who have nothing other than a belief system, you know, to hold down to. Pretty much like this. Like you can always tell for yourself. The moment a tragedy happens, like a car accident or something specific, if your mind goes to like, oh God, someone else saved me or something else saved me, then you're not ready. I'm gonna say it like that. That's how I would break it down.
Wow.
Because you're
Profound.
looking for external help
Yes.
when you are the most important part of a tragedy, you know, because you're the experience and you got to be able to protect yourself. You can't rely on an outside source, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying you, I'm saying that mentality that would always seek more of a guidance. Not necessarily that you couldn't be guided through a shroom trip. That would be actually a very good thing, you know what I mean? But whether you're strong enough to be able to handle it, I think it comes down to that. Whether you can experience regular
Casey,
suffering.
what the fuck are you talking about
You
right
gotta,
now?
like,
If you're talking
like
about
a near-death
some fucking-
Yes
experience.
or no?
If
Can
you
Bo
say-
Like a
handle
near,
a fucking-
well,
Are you
that's just a
saying-
yes or no question?
just say
man.
yes or no. Can
I
Bo
don't know.
fucking handled?
I don't know.
So you're telling me that if
I hope so.
that if fucking I'm walking down this alleyway right now. I'm fucking just walking down by myself. I
Yeah.
got my fucking just chilling, and then fucking ninjas pop up.
Yeah.
And I go,
Okay.
I'm ready to fucking go, and I start attacking. I'm not calling anybody else for fucking help.
Okay.
And I take all these ninjas out. You're telling me if I do that, I'm ready?
No, not at all. I have no idea what you're talking about. I loved it though. I seen like the whole thing.
I
in my
did.
head.
That was
It
visual.
was fucking
Very
good.
visual.
I was like, you should be a storyteller. It's good.
Thanks, man.
But
That's right.
yeah, no, not at all. What I meant is like you got to have something that contrasts it, and you got to have like a near-death experience, some kind of window that has pried you to be a witness to the unknown.
And you
Because
have
if
to
not,
have that.
You have to have that
So
because if
everyone
not, when
that's-
you are pried into it, when you're just thrown into the fucking unknown, it's so overwhelming. For a lot of people, it's like experiencing death. Their whole identity dies. You know,
Yeah.
and you actually feel like you're fucking dying. As the medicine, I call it medicine. You know, as the
It's actually
fluid
poison,
is,
but
the
go
poison,
on.
yeah, as it's working its way through your body. You know, and as it's mixing and turning into this God's substance, you know, and you feel like you're fucking dying, and your identity is convinced it dies. So that's part of the whole like birthing process, the transformation, you know what I mean? Well, if you've never experienced anything remotely close to that, that's going to be fucking traumatic, you know what I mean? At least you have some kind of, you know, we're giving you that insight, like, hey, you might feel like you're dying. By the way, you know, like
You are.
you
You
are.
get PTSD
you know what I mean?
from it?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
I
will.
wouldn't doubt it, you know what I mean? But it's going to be a therapeutic PTSD.
It's a good kind of
For real.
brain trauma.
Hey, that's like a new fucking thing. That's what they're kind of
Good
doing
brain
with the
trauma.
mushroom experiments now in Colorado. Is they're using it to re-hardwire bad
Well-
trauma and shit. So that's exactly it. Would be like you're
Yeah.
creating a strong enough imprint of a memory
Right.
that overrides these other ones that are causing a bad pain.
That's pretty
or
much
something.
it. Yeah, you're using it to
So,
process it too.
That's
It's like
what the
something
mushroom
good.
does, man. You know what I mean? Like, in particular, like, look at LSD. I thought this was so fucking profound when I actually studied the molecule to see what it does. It replicates a neuron cell or a memory
Serotonin.
cell. I can't remember exactly what neuron or what cell it is, but it replicates this and then it drops it. Hundreds of them all over, and then when they fall, they connect just like memory neurons or whatever that's called. There's a name for them, and they just grab each other. So now you're capable of having firing on memories that you might not have accessed for like 20 fucking years, however old you are. You know, you might not have thought about that memory for 20 years, but it's now activated because something's touching it, allowing it to be circuited. So when you go to think about talking and saying the color red, suddenly you remember the red ball from when you were 2 years old. But if you're on a good enough hallucinogenic, you might see that red ball. You know, and later on, you don't know why you've seen the red ball until later on when you're interpreting your trips. Which, that's another problem with this culture. It's only just now that people are getting to the point where they understand that they just went through a process that has to be interpreted.
You can
You know
experience
what I mean?
that.
Like,
Yeah.
people have this experience and then they just forget about it the next day. No, I was just partying. It's like, no.
Yeah,
You
party
didn't just
culture.
get raped
Yeah.
by God and then forget that situation. Your anus is forever ripped open.
That
You know what I
happens-
mean? Like, it
that can-
forever
spiritual
changes
anima.
you.
That can
Anima.
happen. That can happen just going through life, though. I feel
Yeah.
like I was at work the other day, and they were using this certain type of cleaning product, and I smelled it, and for fucking a millisecond, I was back in 5th grade in
Yeah.
the cafeteria.
Yeah.
I could remember it. I was like,
Sense of smell, close to the same time to memory.
Exactly. I say it's the number one to trigger memory. So
yeah. I was like, the fuck?
And now that we know that, it's like I think that we're gonna start slowly using that as experimentation for helping heal past, PTSD or trauma, memories and
Let me
shit.
ask a question. What was the most profound thing you had experienced or your whatever from mushrooms, psychedelic mushrooms? Most profound, life-changing, awakening thing?
Besides removing the screen that this is all just an illusion.
What do you mean by that, first off? That it's all an illusion?
That's really hard to sum up.
All right, let's skip that then.
I'll say that'd be a whole different.
Be like 42
podcast,
minutes later, and that concludes the illusion.
Exactly, and that was time with Casey.
That was yeah.
Anyways,
learning
I'd
lessons.
say that this experience is love, and to be able to experience it, to be a part of this, to be of this, to make this, was one of the greatest experiences ever. To have that epiphany, but it was the epiphany while tripping that I came to that it's only going to be more profound when we can share it together.
Okay, so did you take that off of that movie with the kid that went out and lived in the bus and died?
No, but it might have been me.
That was pretty good though. He
Could
had the
have
same
been like
epiphany.
a past life or something.
No, I mean he had the same
But
epiphany.
exactly, I think that's what it really comes down to is no matter how much profound this experience is, and it really is a selfish, lonely experience, and in the end we're born alone and we die alone.
Yeah.
No matter what though, it's what it is that we drive throughout our entire life is to connect. To connect
Right.
with others that are having this experience as
so
well, for whatever reason.
The power in what you're saying is not that you just have this realization like, hey man, we're all love, but it's like the thing is you feel it. You actually feel it. It's like indescribable. It's like, oh wow,
yeah,
I feel connected to everything.
That's
and
the
everyone,
only thing that woke me up to what mysticism was like tripping. I was like, oh, I understand what a mystic is because I trip, because I've experienced something that I can't put to words.
Yeah.
And in particular, why I say it's mystic is because in trying to define my experience, I'm belittling that experience, because now I'm rewriting it in my memory of what happened,
right? And
I'm taking away the profound and the magic that does exist, that we can't define, that we can't put logic to. So you experience that, but it's the hardest part is, like I said, when you come back trying to interpret it. Like it's kind of like a DMT trip, like you've done DMT, right?
No.
Are you serious? You've never done
DMT?
Shut
I can't admit to all the drugs
dude,
I've done in my life right now.
I think you just probably lost like 15
PCP,
subscribers now. And they're like,
on,
this
man.
guy's not hardcore anymore.
Motherfucker, I am DMT.
Anyways, it's kind of like our salvia.
Wait, look at
salvia
me.
to me was the most fucking intense hallucinogenic I've ever done. But
yeah,
like how salvia is though, when it takes you, it literally
crazy.
takes you somewhere. You're fucking gone. You are not here.
Yeah.
And when you come
Can you
back,
still get that shit?
you are just so fucking raped by that experience.
I would love to make
that you're still almost not here because you're just kind of like,
yeah.
You're still waiting for shit to come back.
He can't help but be this great
that
actor.
is real,
right
dude. Like
you,
I witnessed the universe collapse behind me because consciousness is only by what's perceived. So everything that is not perceived by my consciousness does not exist in my reality. Well, that took on an illusion, and my whole fucking universe collapsed like fabric, like a fucking blanket. And only where I was this bubble of consciousness, and I was like this little ball of light. And everywhere I looked, it looked like 3D dimension, and there was space and people and everything that I think is time, matter, and space in between us. And really, it's just this fabric that's opened, and I'm the energy that's opening it. As long as I'm in this vessel.
Is he blowing your mind right now?
Yeah.
Seen that within like 3 seconds. Came back and I'm still trying to fucking come to, and they're going, "You okay, man? Is it good?" And I'm like, "The God, no, God!" And just blew my fucking mind.
Yep. Look at him now.
Yep.
No long lasting
Look how I
permanent brain
turned out.
damage.
I turned out great.